Hi, good afternoon and welcome to HeKate's Crossing. Another day with the Starman Tarot. I mean, it's absolutely stunning, the box that it comes in. A little bit of extra cards. It's quite cool. There. So absolutely cool. And I love the back of these cards, I think, and the imagery is just stunning. I'm really enjoying working with them. I think they sort of do have a lot of insight. I know these are only quick videos. They don't really show you everything about how much information the cards can come out. I'm just trying to read quite quick because they're not really for anybody in particular. I'm not sure who the readings are actually for. So I'm just sort of relaying the messages, and if anything resonates, awesome. Just take a minute to sort of listen to the message, and maybe something in there resonates with you. Okay, let's see how many cards we're going to do today, and I think this is just going to be a choosing one. So let's just go here. Sorry about that coming through. I'll get messages and that with my phone, but it's okay. So let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and one more in here somewhere. It's calling out to me. That's 10. So 10 cards today. Let's see what I like to put them away. I don't like to leave these cards out. They're just beautiful. I just want to keep them well looked after. Okay, so put the cards back into there. The first card on top. Okay, let's see what the cards are, shall we? So card number 1, we have the 3 of Swords, heartbreak. Straight away you're dealing with some heartbreak, some sadness. You're feeling like you're inconsolable. Everything just feels just overwhelming. There's just so much going on. It's been quite traumatic. It's been quite heartbreaking. There's a lot of trauma, a lot of stress, a lot of overwhelm, a lot of sadness. Just feels like there's just no hope, nothing sort of lying ahead for you. You can sort of see when you look at this imagery, you've got this person sitting here, and very in the dark. It's in a very, very dark place right at this time. You just feel like there's just no hope. You've lost everything from the past. There's no hope for the future. You're just sitting in this moment, and it's all you can see. It's just reminding you too, I want to just say, that feels like behind you there's some support going on. You're actually not alone. There's other people who may be going through this dark stage with you, but there are people that are going to help you, be there, do things that you need doing, whatever that reason is. There might be people who can help you with whatever's going on for you at this time. So just remember, you're not alone. So I think that's really, really important for you to know, that even if you're in this dark place, there are people who are opening their heart to you. There are people who understand that you are going through a dark time, and you're actually not alone at this moment. So I think that's really important for you to know, that you're not alone, even with all the darkness and stuff going on. Okay, card number 2. We've got the 2 of Swords coming out. 2 of Swords for me is about some peace restored. So you might be at a crossroads. There might be some decisions to make. You're feeling like there could be not too much clarity and stuff going on. So you are sort of trying to find your inner peace, if you can, once you have actually made the decisions that you actually need. Let's have a look at this imagery. I feel like there's a staircase. You've walked out of this situation, and you're actually starting to walk forward. So there could be you saying, and you turned your back on the decision. You're not quite sure on which decision to actually go on. Maybe you still got to turn around and walk ahead, so you can walk up the steps and walk towards where you need to be. But which path are you actually going to take? Quite important for you. Okay, card number 3. Got the Ace of Swords. It's funny as I pick them out in different places. So Ace of Swords tell me that you are going to receive a little bit of clarity. I think once you actually make the decision, even though you've been going through the heartbreak and you feel like there's no hope, there will be a time when you will be able to make a decision and you will receive some clarity about the situation and things that are going on. And you can see that your heart will be starting to lighten a little bit. You're starting to open up a little bit more to new possibilities, new things, new perspectives, new thoughts, new ideas, new plans. So I feel like there will be a little bit of light coming through for you, which will be really important. And I can see straight away with these cards here being swords, you've got the sense of the darkness, that being able to, you're feeling like I feel like in this one there's just no communication whatsoever. I feel like just unable to communicate. This one you're starting to think about things, so you might be able to starting to express who you are. This one you'll be able to communicate clearly about where you are. It's going to take some time. It's not a rushed experience. This is something that's going to take some time for how you digest the experience. Okay, now we've got the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man reminds us that we might be sacrificing ourselves to try and please everybody else. There might be a time where you might actually need to, I feel like might need to create some boundaries and actually say, hey, wait a minute, this is not what I want, this is not where I'm headed, this is not how I want to express myself. I feel like I'm just sort of hanging around and not really doing anything and sort of letting everybody else dictate to me what I should and shouldn't be doing. It's time for me to actually turn around and say, hey, no, this is what I want. This is how I'm no longer going to sacrifice myself to please others. I'm going to start looking at things from a new perspective, look at the options that are available to me. I feel like I can actually make some decisions and actually look at things from a clearer angle and actually have some clarity about where I want to be. I'm no longer feeling like I'm in this darkness, this where I've been. I'm actually starting to see the light. I think that's really important. Okay, next card we have is Death. So we will be, once we actually can say those things about where we want to be, we're going to find that we are actually going through some some transformations. We're going to find ourselves transmuting, maybe feeling like we're going through a bit of a rebirthing, a sense of renewal. We'll find ourselves sort of moving out of the darkness and into the light, feeling like we're leaving behind. We're going to have some finality, some final aspects of our life we're going to leave behind, and we're actually going to find our heart actually opening up and find ourselves walking towards a new light, a fresh start, a fresh beginning. I feel like we're going to actually turn ourselves around. It is going to take some time. This is going to be a very slow process. It's not going to be quick. It's going to be very, very slow. And here we've got the moon. And the moon tells us that we're going to do a lot of reflection, a lot of contemplation. There might be some ebbs and flows with our moods and things. We are going to be working towards our dreams, our realizing where we actually want to be. I think there's going to be a lot of moving ahead. We're going to be maybe facing some of our own, maybe our own inner conflicts, our own enemies within ourselves. We may find ourselves just moving through into the light, out of the darkness and into new aspects of where we are. I think we're going to be moving through new stages of our cycles. We're going to find ourselves moving through new phases, might having some shifts and some changes and things happening. So just allow that to happen. It's going to take some time. I keep getting it's going to take time. It's going to take time. You know, we've got 8 of Pentacles, this whole sense of renewal, a sense of rebirthing. I feel like our skills and our abilities, it's going to take some commitment. I think there's going to be a bit of a commitment that we need to make within ourselves about achieving the tasks that we need to, so that we have that sense of renewal and rebirthing in our physical health and maybe a little bit of finances, but I think this is more about, I'm getting a feeling this is more about our health and our mental perspectives, even though this is sort of a physical aspect. I think there's a sort of a mental aspect to it as well, about our perceptions and things going on. There's going to be a lot of healing taking in, a lot of with our heart, and it's going to be quite spiritual in what goes on for us. I think it's going to be a lot of healing. Here we have the Five of Swords, and we might find ourselves going back into some old conflicts. Even though I think there's a sense of renewal, I think it's going to be bringing up some internal conflicts. We may find ourselves arguing with others, not doing what they expect of us. I think we're going to be making our own decisions about where we're headed and what we're actually doing. I feel like there's a lot of stuff going on with this. I think this is going to be quite huge with what's going on. I think there's a lot of movement forward. I want to have a look at this imagery here, and I feel like, yeah, there's a lot of battling and a lot of arguments and fights as we sort of start to get a bit clearer in our head and going, hey, wait a minute, I'm not doing what you expect of me. This is about what I want. This is about what I desire. I want to be able to communicate and express. I'm going to stop getting, I am going to get a little bit angry and a little bit of passionate about what I want to achieve. I think that's quite important there, going in there. I feel like there's a lot of that, being able to communicate. Okay, we've got Temperance here. This, to me, is about a bit of moderation, doing what you want to do. Stop doing the extreme of what everybody else expects of you, and more about you. Could be a little bit of luxury, a little bit of pampering. Self-pampering could be important for you right now. Time for you to actually physically take care of you. I think that's really, really important, to actually take care of yourself. Yeah, I think there's a lot more going on with this. I think that's really, really important, to be able to express exactly what you want. You're opening your heart out to a little bit of self-pampering, self-love, unconditional love. Actually allow yourself the healing that you need for you. I think that's very, very important with this. And I feel like there's a sense of sort of releasing the old, releasing that stuff that you keep bottling up. And the last card we have is Queen of Cups. And I feel with this one here, when I look at this energy here, she's opening up. I want to get you to get a real close look on that. And that's really about you opening up yourself to self-nurturing and being cared for by others. Maybe it'll also, this reminds you about being cared for. You may find yourself running around and caring about other people, and you're quite nurturing, and you sort of wear your emotions on your sleeve, and I feel like you're sort of getting out there quite a lot. And I feel like there's a sense of you really taking care of you and nurturing you. And just remember, you may find yourself being quite emotional and sort of showing your emotions quite a lot. So just remember to I feel like there's a sense of needing to sort of sit down a little bit. I know that you might be feeling like you need to open yourself up. You might be feeling a little vulnerable with what's going on, but I just feel like you need to sort of just remember that other people can take care of you too. You don't have to be taking care of everyone else. Even though you've been taking the steps and might be feeling a lot better at this time further on, I feel this is going to be quite a slow process. This is going to be like over the next few weeks. This is not an instant reading. This is not just for today. This, I think, is coming up over the period of the next few weeks. Even it could be the few months. We're all going to be moving through our own stages, our own healing process. So I feel like this is going to be quite a sort of a slow journey as you move through this opening up and finding the clarity and being able to reflect on what you've been through and understand the cycles and the phases. And I just think you're going to be stepping stones. Very, very slow process coming up for you. I mean, this is definitely a very, very slow process in the healing that you need to do.